Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. The soldiers most responsible for the training of these soldiers are the drill sergeants, who are carefully selected by the Department of the Army. The drill sergeant campaign hat and badge have been a stoic symbol of professionalism and pride since 1962. At this time, we invite all past and present drill sergeants to please stand as the drill sergeant of the cycle for Echo Company, 2nd Battalion, 13th Infantry Regiment recites the drill sergeant creed. Ladies and gentlemen, Lieutenant Colonel Derek Campbell and Command Sergeant Major Joseph Magni will now present the awards. The outstanding drill sergeant of the cycle for 213th Infantry Regiment is Drill Sergeant Nathaniel Wilkinson from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. The soldier leader of the cycle for Alpha Company is Private First Class Mia Martin from Cummins, Georgia. The soldier of the cycle for Alpha Company is Private Eli Tehanepi from Dorr, Michigan. The soldier leader of the cycle for Bravo Company is Private First Class Jonathan Garrett from St. Petersburg, Florida. The soldier of the cycle for Bravo Company is Private First Class Tracy Saylor from Beaver Dam, Wisconsin. The soldier leader of the cycle for Charlie Company is Private First Class Juliet Ayala from Waco, Texas. The soldier of the cycle for Charlie Company is Private First Class Samuel Anderson from Seattle, Washington. The soldier leader of the cycle for Delta Company is Private First Class Angela Fiorentino from Wichita Falls, Texas. The soldier of the cycle for Delta Company is Private Emmanuel Rosales from Salem, Oregon. The soldier leader of the cycle for Echo Company is Private Emma Rouse from Minot, North Dakota. The soldier of the cycle for Echo Company is Private Sebastian Vivas from Seattle, Washington. Ladies and gentlemen, the commander of the 2nd Battalion, 13th Infantry Regiment, Lieutenant Colonel Derek Campbell.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Y'all enjoy Family Day yesterday? Yeah, all right. Brigadier General Kelly, Command Sergeant Major and Mrs. Tavernier, Colonel Hutton, Colonel Williams, Colonel and Mrs. White, Command Sergeant Major and Mrs. Worth, distinguished guests, visitors, families, and friends, welcome to today's graduation ceremony. And most of all, welcome to your soldiers' graduation. Since 1917, Fort Jackson has helped forge America's warrior class as it transforms civilians into disciplined, competent, and professional soldiers. Fort Jackson is responsible for manufacturing tomorrow's heroes, and it produces them at a rate of more than 48,000 soldiers per year, which is more than half of the Army's requirement. This is why we here at Fort Jackson proudly proclaim that victory truly starts right here. And today, that tradition continues as we welcome 854 of America's newest defenders of freedom into our ranks. I want to point out that throughout time, the conduct of war has changed and will continue to change. But through it all, the one constant remains its people. We are in the people business, and we are in the business of producing the best people to be our soldiers and leaders that any Army has to offer. That said, we must recognize that our present is shaped by our past, and we want to start by recognizing our veterans. We are a free nation because of the sacrifices of American service members who have fought for and continue to fight for our freedoms. So at this time, I ask that all veterans and retirees attending the ceremony today to please stand. Thank you all for your service. Next, with your soldiers out on the field today, stands the 282nd Army Band. And we have the privilege of having one of the best bands in the Army right here on our post. They always add something very special to our ceremonies. So please, let's hear a round of applause for the 282nd Army Band. The next group of individuals I would like to recognize reside within our very own 2nd Battalion, 13th Infantry, the Champion Battalion, named after the Battle of Champion Hill during the Civil War Vicksburg campaign. At the core of the Champion Battalion are the drill sergeants. The drill sergeants standing before you help lead, inspire, and mentor these soldiers throughout their basic training experience. Selflessly, they committed their time, energy, and passion to the transformation of your loved ones from civilians to soldiers. Your soldiers will forget some of their peers, some of their experiences will fade away, but I guarantee you, they will always remember the names of their drill sergeant. And working alongside the drill sergeants, we have a host of support cadre, staff, platoon leaders, company commanders, and first sergeants moving mountains daily in support of our mission. And I promise you all, we fully recognize the responsibility of our charge, which is caring for and developing America's most precious resource. These are your sons and daughters, brothers, sisters, mothers, and fathers, so it is never taken lightly. Next to the families, teachers, coaches, mentors, and friends attending today, we thank you all. Thank you for your support and your trust in us to protect your loved ones. They would not be here without you. And what amazing group. The resilience this class has shown is a testament to their strength and maturity. Further, these soldiers speak to the richness and diversity that constitutes the strength of our nation. Your soldiers represent an all-volunteer force composed of America's finest. And in the ranks before you, the youngest soldier is just 17 years old, and the oldest is 45. There are 10 of them out there with a master's degree, 29 with bachelor's degrees, and 34 with associates, and 7 with PhDs. We have cooks, teachers, contractors, youth counselors, electricians, carpenters, project managers, police officers, and many, many more. There are even a couple former members of the Navy, Marine Corps, and Air Force out there who finally saw the light and joined the good guys. But it doesn't stop there. We have representatives from 42 U.S. states and territories. 9 countries are represented from all parts of the world, and they represent 42 Army military occupational skills in all 3 components of the total Army. And additionally, 6 of them will continue on to officer candidate school to earn their commission as an Army officer. To the soldiers on the field today, congratulations. You have trained hard. You have demonstrated the proficiency in your warrior tasks that form the fundamental skills required to be a part of the most successful team in history. As these soldiers first received their Army patches during the soldier ceremony, and again as they took the field today, I know that every one of them feel a tingling sensation deep in their chest. That is nothing more than pride. Pride for having become United States Army soldier. Proud of their accomplishments, proud of their battle buddies, and proud to have earned the right to serve our great nation as an American soldier. So finally, thank you all for attending today's ceremony, and thank you for the support of our soldiers and our nation. We wish all of our soldiers safe travels and success as they move on to their next chapter of their Army story. 40 rounds, no ground to give, victory.
Today's soldier is above all a warrior, adaptive, confident, and competent. As a soldier, you are totally committed to the warrior ethos, grounded in Army values, and determined to destroy the enemies of the United States of America. The United States Army Soldier's Creed embodies this commitment. To the soldiers on the field, the uniform you wear at this moment is more than an outward display of your vocational choice. Your uniform is a symbol of a nation and an unspoken assurance to all who see you that you are a willing and able protector of the freedoms fought so arduously for by all who have gone before and those who will bravely come after. You have become what you set out to be, a soldier in the United States Army. The Soldier's Creed is your declaration of your unshakable commitment to the ideals this nation was founded upon and will continue to guarantee. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand as Private First Class Jonathan Garrett leads the soldiers standing before you through the reciting of the Soldier's Creed. please be seated? In consideration for those around you, we ask that you please remain seated and in the bleachers until all soldiers have passed the reviewing stand and the conclusion of the ceremony is announced. As you are approached by the American flag, it is appropriate to rise and remain standing until it has passed to your right. Once the ceremony has concluded, family members of awardees may meet their soldier under the canopy located to the left of the bleachers. All other family members and friends, please meet your soldier on the field once instructed by the narrator and by respective companies. The 13th Regiment was reconstituted in May of 1861. It was organized as one of the 9 3-battalion regiments of regulars, with each battalion containing 8 companies of infantry, in contrast to the original 10 regular regiments of infantry, which were organized on the traditional 10-company line. During the American Civil War, it participated in the battles of Hayes Bluffs, Champion Hill, Black River, and on 19 May 1863, it took part in the assault at Vicksburg, where the unit earned its motto, "First at Vicksburg." Following the Civil War, the Army was reorganized by Congress, and in July of 1866, the 13th was divided into 3 regiments, with each battalion receiving 2 additional companies, and was organized along traditional lines. The 1st Battalion retained the designation of the 13th Infantry. After World War II, the unit was inactivated at Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri. On 17 August 1949, the regiment was activated once again at Fort Jackson, South Carolina, as part of the 8th Infantry Division, where it remained until 1 August 1954. The 8th Infantry Division was transferred to Fort Carson, Colorado, and the 13th went with it, where it resumed its training mission. In January of 1956, the regiment began to receive permanent party personnel as well as new recruits. Basic training for these recruits began in mid-February and segued immediately into advanced training. Both training blocks were completed by mid-June, when the regiment achieved combat-ready status. In August of 1957, the regiment was reorganized under the Potomac system as the 1st Battle Group, 13th Infantry Regiment, and the old guidons were retired and new guidons for the 1st Battle Group were issued. In January of 1958, the 1st Battle Group, 13th Infantry Regiment moved from New Ulm, Germany to Sandhofen. The 1st Battalion was posted to Baumholder, whilst the 2nd Battalion was posted to Mannheim and remained there until 1 August 1984, when it was inactivated and relieved from assignment to the 8th Infantry Division. On 27 February 1988, the 13th Infantry Regiment was transferred to the United States Army Training and Doctrine Command and reorganized at Fort Jackson, South Carolina, where it conducts its basic combat training as part of the 193rd Infantry Brigade. Passing the reviewing stand is the Commander of Troops, Major Samuel Warren, and the battalion staff. The 282nd Army Band is commanded by Chief Warrant Officer 3, Kevin Pitt. The drum major is Sergeant Nigel Brown. Company A is commanded by Captain Andrew Willett. The 1st Platoon is led by First Lieutenant Anthony Adams and trained by Senior Drill Sergeant Louis Skipper. The 2nd Platoon is led by Senior Drill Sergeant Ryan LaBeouf and trained by Drill Sergeant Marcus Charfaros. The 3rd Platoon is led by Senior Drill Sergeant Matthew Cups and trained by Drill Sergeant Marlon Gabriel. The 4th Platoon is led by Senior Drill Sergeant John Hall and trained by Drill Sergeant Matthew Porritt. In the rear of the formation is the 1st Sergeant, First Sergeant Shane Hill. Company B is commanded by Captain Lonnie McIntyre. The 1st Platoon is led by Senior Drill Sergeant Trenton Boback and trained by Drill Sergeant Marcus Valencia. The 2nd Platoon is led by Senior Drill Sergeant Julian Acevedo and trained by Drill Sergeant Zachary Murray. The 3rd Platoon is led by Senior Drill Sergeant Eric Laveau and trained by Drill Sergeant Jesse Pierce. The 4th Platoon is led by Senior Drill Sergeant Wook Din, trained by Drill Sergeant Briar Roseboom. In the rear of the formation is the 1st Sergeant, First Sergeant Alexandria King. Ladies and gentlemen, you are reminded that as you are approached by the American flag, it is appropriate to rise and remain standing until it has passed to your right. The battalion color guard is led by Drill Sergeant Jacob Wood. Company C is commanded by Captain Elisha Olam. The 1st Platoon is led by Senior Drill Sergeant Wallace Robinson and trained by Drill Sergeant Damian Olivas. The 2nd Platoon is led by 1st Lieutenant Cody P. Hahn and trained by Senior Drill Sergeant Matthew Lassiter. The 3rd Platoon is led by 1st Lieutenant Russell Norton and trained by Senior Drill Sergeant Christopher Sanders. The 4th Platoon is led by Senior Drill Sergeant Anne-Marie Fisher and trained by Drill Sergeant Kenny Spates. In the rear of the formation is the 1st Sergeant, First Sergeant Geraldine Rodriguez. Company D is commanded by Captain Rebecca Cadet. The 1st Platoon is led by Senior Drill Sergeant John Canal and trained by Drill Sergeant David Ferguson. The 2nd Platoon is led by Senior Drill Sergeant Michael Smith and trained by Drill Sergeant Anthony Lilly. The 3rd Platoon is led by Senior Drill Sergeant Brittany Foster and trained by Drill Sergeant Tarek Thomas. The The 4th platoon is led by Senior Drill Sergeant Octavius Epps and trained by Drill Sergeant John Bush. In the rear of the formation is the 1st Sergeant, 1st Sergeant Brandon Bishop. Company E is commanded by 1st Lieutenant Rene DeMorse. The 1st platoon is led by Senior Drill Sergeant Jeffrey Fisher and trained by Drill Sergeant LaQuinte Reed. The 2nd platoon is led by Senior Drill Sergeant Trevor Ellison and trained by Drill Sergeant Jamie Reed. The 3rd platoon is led by Senior Drill Sergeant Victor Hernandez and trained by Drill Sergeant Dan Guevara. The 4th platoon is led by Senior Drill Sergeant Peter Hennings and trained by Drill Sergeant Lance Player. In the rear of the formation is the 1st Sergeant, Sergeant First Class Gregory Brown. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the Army song and please remain in the bleachers until the conclusion of the ceremony is announced. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes today's ceremony. Family members of awardees, please meet your soldier under the canopy to the left of the bleachers. All other family members and friends, once instructed to, you will meet your soldier on the parade field. We ask that you please remember to take all trash and personal items with you as you exit. Please enjoy the rest of your day and have a safe journey home. Victory starts here. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, individuals with mobility limitations or requiring additional assistance sitting in the first two bleachers